Got it. All right. It looks like let's see what popped up here. All right, it looks like we are live now. Awesome. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here today and tuning in. Today we'll be talking about disability resources, especially the WorkBC Customized Employment Program. And so, sorry, I should introduce ourselves. My name is Brianna, and I work for WorkBC Centre Westshore and Souk. And we also have Heidi here today, who is a team lead and customized employment advisor at WorkBC Centre Westshore and Souk. As mentioned, we'll be going over commonly asked questions for WorkBC Disability Resources. And yeah, we'll just get started. So I'll go over the territory acknowledgement first. WorkBC Centre Westshore and Souk recognizes the traditional territories of the Esquimalt, Songhees, Souk, Chenoo, and Paschimot First Nations on which our offices are located, and we are proud to provide employment-related services to these nations. All right, so we'll jump into the questions now. So the first question that's commonly asked is, what is the eligibility for someone to receive disability support services through WorkBC?
Okay, so if you're somebody who identifies as having a disability and you're requiring job search support and you come into one of the WorkBC centers, when you initially register for WorkBC services, you will then be sort of prompted to disclose whether you're requiring disability support. And we'd also be completing a DRENA with you, which stands for Disability Related Employment Needs Assessment. So you'd be doing that with an employment advisor. During this process, you have an opportunity to discuss your needs and challenges that are requiring support with activities related to employment. From there, you and your employment advisor would create an action plan, and that then helps support your employment goals and needs. The supports you receive are really dependent on what your needs are.
Great. Next question we have is, what kinds of jobs are available for people with disabilities?
Oh, well, there are many different jobs that are available to people with disabilities. In fact, you probably know many people with disabilities already who are working in different areas. We work with you to assess what work experience you already have, your skills, what areas of employment you're interested in, and also how realistic your employment goals are. We encourage you to be open to feedback so we can have good communication together, and that we can also offer suggestions. And all of that is really designed to help you be successful in your job search and also on the job.
Great. All right, so what is customized employment?
Yeah, sometimes it's very confusing for people because it sounds, well, people don't know what that might mean. Customized employment is a branch of WorkBC Employment Services, and it's designed for people requiring a higher level of support than what normally can be supplied through regular employment services. So for an example, where one client may be advised to attend a workshop, clients receiving customized employment services would work one-on-one with their advisor to develop their skills, and also just to work together within their existing support needs. You know, and those may look like sort of, you know, various parts of work components that they're able to participate in, or modified hours, or again, modified work environment, those kinds of things. So we really work one-on-one with clients. Customized employment is designed for clients with disabilities who require the one-on-one support through all aspects of their WorkBC experience, if I can call it that. So that would look like from a client coming in through the doors and starting their job search process through looking for and obtaining some kind of a position, job coaching while they're on the job, and also sort of through their sustainment part of the WorkBC services that we deliver. So it's really sort of from start to finish of their work with us at WorkBC.
And so what kind of clients do you work with?
our clients have disabilities. So all of the clients that we work with in the disability sort of arm of WorkBC Services have got disabilities of one sort of or another. They may be cognitive disabilities, they may be some various learning disabilities, they may be physical disabilities, mobility issues, and they also may involve some mental health aspects. So we sort of see a wide range of clients presenting with different support needs. We also, you know, we'll work with people that are literally teenagers and all the way up to grandparents. So we work with a wide variety of people that are coming in, and you know, their one main characteristic, if I can say it like that, is that they all are identifying as not only having a disability, but also wanting some support that is related to that disability.
Great. Another commonly asked question. Are there limits to the services that you can provide in customized employment?
Yes, and that's a good thing. WorkBC is focused on providing employment services to all of our clients. So as such, we require our clients to be actively engaged and interested in work. I know this may sound very intuitive and very common sense, but you know, sometimes people are coming in and wanting and being interested in various topics, and we really do want to focus on work. So all WorkBC services must end after 1 year of the person being in job sustainment. And we kind of identify job sustainment as when somebody is in a job that they're interested in, that they're able to sort of continue working in. And so from a customized employment point of view, when a client requires additional services or continuous on-the-job support that is going beyond what we're able to provide for job coaching, either in scope or in length of time, then we will try to work with other community partners to ensure that person has got some ongoing supports once they're finished receiving their WorkBC services.
Great. Next question. I read that jobs can be customized to meet my needs, skills, abilities, and competencies. What does this mean? In customized employment, advisors work one-on-one with clients to get to know them and their specific employment goals and needs. We're not really looking at advertised positions for our clients. The clients that are coming in and using customized employment require customization in their employment settings and also in the positions within those employment settings to be able to accommodate their employment needs. So I mentioned it already, it may look like sort of modified hours, modified schedules, the duties that somebody is performing on a regular basis when they're at work, the amount of work that they will have placed with them, the changes to their schedule or the changes to the expectations, different ways of learning for that person, maybe the way in which the person's supervised. We sort of explore all of these things, and we do that through a process that we call discovery. Okay, so the next question is, what is discovery?
Well, so discovery is a sort of a large portion of what we can offer in customized employment, and it's an extensive assessment. It's designed to draw out a client's strengths, their existing skills, and their support needs before any job search even starts. So that's sometimes something, well, it is always something we discuss with clients before we are beginning our work with them when they're interested in customized employment, to be able to just address any questions that a person may have around when they're going to be starting to work or when they're going to be getting a job. Discovery takes up to 12 weeks, and it allows staff and clients to discover clients' hidden and not so hidden skills. It also allows us to kind of explore people's interests and their competencies. You know, most of us, when we're asked, what are we good at and what do we like, we can answer some of those questions, but discovery allows us to really expand on exploring what somebody's actual strengths and skills are versus their self-perceived strengths and skills. And then staff can then work with local employers to develop an opportunity that meets the client's needs and also provide some value and assistance to get to that employer.
Do you offer job coaching, and what does that mean?
Yes, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it already in terms of an earlier question, but we do offer job coaching. Job coaching may be required where a client has difficulty learning or requires more direct support during, let's say, the orientation part of starting a new job. Maybe where somebody has some challenges with working relationships, or requires regular feedback in order to be successful and to be able to understand their role. We can help in all of these areas, and job coaching may be as limited as a few phone calls here and there, or texts to clients, or emails to support workers, parents, clients, to maybe dropping in at their workplace on a somewhat regular basis. It may be regularly scheduled, direct assistance with somebody on the job. It may be meeting in with an employer or a supervisor and that client to discuss some areas where there are some challenges or where some feedback's required. It may be meeting together to strategize better ways of communicating and better ways of doing the work, or also even changes in the nature of the work or changes in the employer's needs for what that client is going to be doing with them. So job coaching can really vary from person to person and from each person's situation to the next one.
Wonderful. Another question. Can I bring my mother or father or support worker with me to appointments?
You're welcome to bring somebody along with you to an appointment that you would sort of deem as being a support person for you. And when people do that, often support people can really assist very much with your own success as a client coming into our services. But we want to sort of be mindful that, if I'm working with a client, I, regardless of their ability to communicate and whatever their challenges sort of may be, I want to be mindful that I'm addressing and sort of working with that client primarily first, and using the support and the relationship that the person is bringing with them to support them, rather than working almost with that secondary person. That sometimes is something that we just want to really reinforce and we want to strongly encourage. So we really recognize the client as the primary decision maker in all aspects of the services that we deliver. So we always try to be very mindful of that. Any person that you would like to be able to include in your services, whether it's in person or whether it's virtual, whether it's phone calls, Zoom meetings, what have you, that person, we will be required to have a consent that you've signed authorizing us to be able to have communication with them. So that's something that's just important to keep in mind. Sometimes when people realize that, they realize, oh, my brother can just wait outside for me for this appointment, it's fine. Or no, I'm gonna include him because we live together, and if you call, maybe he's going to be answering the phone, and I want him to be able to relay information to me. So it really just depends on people's circumstances, but we want to make sure that we're very clear that, the person in front of us who's registered, that is our client, and all the other people that may be around them, their whole purpose, as far as we're concerned, is to help support them to become successful with their employment goals.
And the last question, in customized employment, where do you meet and how long are the appointments?
Well, regular in customized employment, so I guess I'll back that up a little bit. For clients that are receiving disability services, we conduct our meetings almost always in an office setting. It may be in the Westshore office, it may be in the Souk office location, depending on where the client is located. And sometimes there's some flexibility with, where the staff are located as well, and people's availability and that sort of thing. But for disability services, we're generally working with clients in office. In customized employment, that may look a little bit different, just depending on where we are in the customized employment services that we're providing. So for instance, in Discovery, we may be meeting in a coffee shop, we may be meeting in a grocery store, we may be meeting out in the community somewhere where the client is interested in engaging in their activities, and we as staff are meeting with them there. We also may be meeting with them at their home to be able to conduct a home visit. We may, if somebody is in job sustainment and we are providing some job coaching supports, we are obviously meeting with clients in their workspace. Or we may be in a potential work environment where we're going to explore some community settings that would be suitable for the client. So we kind of meet in a variety of different areas and different locations, depending on the activities that we're doing with our clients. It's a little bit different than regular sort of case management activities. In customized employment, it's more customized. And similarly, the length of time that the appointments last has some flexibility built into that as well. Most appointments in office for disability, for clients receiving disability services, most appointments will still be within an hour. Sometimes, even in customized employment, they may be longer appointments, but they also may be shorter. They may be, for instance, split up into 2 shorter appointments. If we are let's say, going through ADRENA together, that disability-related employment needs assessment that I was mentioning earlier, that may be a little bit cumbersome. It may be a little bit too long to be able to deliver in one appointment with a client. And so, depending on the client's needs and their energy levels, we will break that up into 2 appointments if necessary, and sort of modify our appointment times that way. In the community, if we are meeting in the community, the appointments may be longer. They may be 1.5 or even up to 2 hours, again, depending on the activity that we're engaged in. And of course, if we're supporting a client on the job, well, we might be there for their entire shift, or we may be there for portions of their shift. So there's definitely much more flexibility and customization that goes into the kinds of meetings and the length of time that we're spending with clients. That's why it's called customized employment. So.
Awesome. Great. Well, that was my last question. Thank you so much for going over those commonly asked questions. It doesn't appear that anyone has asking me questions in the chat box. That being said, if anyone is watching this right now, feel free to put it in right now, or I will put the information in the information box just below for our center email and our website as well. So feel free to reach out as well if you have any other questions that you can think of after. If not, then just put it in right now and we can answer them. But yes, like thank you so much, Heidi, for taking the time to go over these questions today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm
You're
gonna
welcome,
wait
Brianna.
a couple more seconds just in case if anyone has any questions. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. I don't see anyone, so okay, well, we'll just we'll end it today, and thank you so much again. And thank you everyone who's watching this right now. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.